Welcome to Prague in the Czech Republic for this huge EuroLeague women game between Praha and Fenerbahce. Many have this down as the biggest game of the season so far, potentially even a dress rehearsal for what could be the final lineup in April. Things look very different than they did the last time these two met back in early December. Fenerbahce have brought in 4 world-class superstars to their roster. Praha have also made some personnel changes. However, back in December, it took an overtime period before Fenerbahce could come away with the 10-point win in Istanbul. That night, Fenerbahce driven forward by 25 points from Yakupova, 20 points from McBride, whilst that 5 minutes extra was a little too far for the short rotation of Praha. They had 5 players who played over 35 minutes in that game, including Alyssa Thomas, who played all 45 minutes. Crowds are starting to really pour in. This is definitely the big show in town tonight, as is the basketball many nights here in Prague. Praha, absolutely iconic in this city, and rightfully so. Hundreds of matches unbeaten in the domestic competition. And they fly the flag on the international stage as well. Praha players in the huddle, head back to the bench. One of the new faces there, Great Britain international, Temi Fagbenle. Fenerbahce will head to the bench now as well. A little under 8 minutes to go until our opening tip-off here. Here is Group A. My goodness me, this is an impressive sight to say the least. Still 5 teams in the battle for the 4 playoff positions. Fenerbahce tonight can secure a playoff spot if they pick up the win. No team outside of Fenerbahce at the end of today's game will have picked up a playoff spot, but there will be quite a bit of moving around depending on how the results play out. Bourges at the moment, the team sitting just outside of that top 4. Zegzard, Virtus Bologna and Olympiacos can't make it through, but so much to play for. And remember, it's not just top 4 that these teams are looking for, they're thinking about positioning as well. They want seeding going into those playoffs. You want home court advantage. If it goes to a 3-game series, you want game 3 on your home floor. You don't want to be on the road in front of a tough crowd. And that's what these teams are playing for right now. Fenerbahce will now be introduced to the crowd, and what can you say about this team? You just look through that roster and it's superstar after superstar after superstar. They enter the game unbeaten since a 2-point loss to Zegzard back in early November. That's how good they've been in the last few weeks. A total of 9 wins in a row now for Fenerbahce. A win tonight would secure them that spot in the postseason playoffs, so it's big stakes on line for Fenerbahce tonight. Sabali, first player to the floor. Fenerbahce, a lot of their success this season has been built on a blistering offense. Highest scoring team in EuroLeague women's by quite a way, averaging over 86 points a game. But if you zoom out from that, the big picture is that offense isn't built around 1 or 2 superstars. On their night, any of these players can step up and score big. In fact, they've had 7 different players this season post 15-point plus games. That tells you how difficult they are to stop. You can't just focus your defensive effort on 1 or 2 players. You have to try and stop an entire roster, which is difficult. As for Praha, well, they sit just behind Fenerbahce, as you saw in the table. In fact, it's only that loss to Fenerbahce in December that keeps them in 2nd place. Group A is so close right now. Praha, exceptional this season, but they'll have to wait to see if they can secure a playoff spot. They're certainly in a driving seat to do so, but that won't be mathematically secured, even with a win here today. Praha too have looked good offensively. They're only 2nd in EuroLeague Women's this season behind Fenerbahce. They're averaging 81.5 points a game. For me, it's defensively where Praha could have an advantage, could be the game changer for Praha tonight. relatively physical style of play, and that enables them to concede less than 69 points per game. However, try and keep Fenerbahce to below 69 points might be a bit of a bigger ask than maybe some of the other teams they've faced this season. Here are officials for today's game. Blaž Zupancic, Vladimir Jevtovic, and Timon Last from Slovenia, Serbia and the Netherlands respectively, as the players about to get into the final phases of their warm-up. Certainly has grabbed all of the headlines. The roster that Coach Markovic and the Fenerbahce front office have brought together is impressive to say the least. Absolutely world class. And they added to it recently as well, as Courtney van der Sloot signed on the dotted line for Fenerbahce, 2021 WNBA champion of the Chicago Sky. Taking part in today's game. We'll expect her to be there in future weeks. Teams though, very, very impressive. Fenerbahce a little bit deeper than Praha, and that might be the difference. Fenerbahce will be able to push it full throttle for the full 40 minutes. Praha probably not quite able to do that. But that said, looking at their domestic record, it's absolutely unparalleled. Praha unbeaten in over 250 games domestically, top of the league right now, 14-0. As for Fenerbahce, they're actually second in the Turkish league, a 13-2 record. They sit behind fellow EuroLeague women team Čukurova. Some of the additions they brought in recently that may very well change in the coming weeks for Fenerbahce. No surprise that this will probably be the biggest crowd of the season for Praha here on their home floor. It's just mouth-watering when you look at some of the matchups on show today. Conde against Jagopova, Thomas against Stewart, Vukosavljevic against Sabali, Jones against Messerman, and there's more. You could go on and go on and go on. It really is going to be interesting. Here's the starting five for Fenerbahce: Chaka, McBride, Jagopova, Stewart and Messerman. Sabali, Djordjevic coming off the bench. They're the two main players that will provide support from the bench, but don't look past Kurtelmas or Ratzer or Aydin for support as well. But what a five for Fenerbahce. Goodness me, that's a world-beating five to say the least. As for Praha, they too have a very impressive starting five. It's just that depth and how much of the rotation Coach Heškova uses. Fans pouring into the stands, always good to see. Next generation of players being inspired by some of the world greats here on show today. The starting five for Praha come to the floor, and it will be Oblak, Conde, Vukosavljevic, Thomas and Jones. Expect this five to play a lot of minutes. All of these five probably north of 30-35 minutes. Support coming off the bench, probably from Vorečkova, Fagbenle and Violova primarily. Coach Heškova doesn't quite have the depth that a counterpart at the other end of the floor does, but don't get me wrong, this is a ton of talent on show here today for both teams. Neither team is actually short of a wealth of riches with regards to playing talent. Moments away from the opening tip, then both teams fully ready to go right now. Just a chance to remind you, best way to follow along with this game whilst you watch is definitely the official EuroLeague Women's app, available on Android, iOS, completely free. There's no reason you shouldn't be having your phones in your hands right now and downloading that app. Tons on there, loads of interviews and reviews, videos. But it's a good companion for the live game because you've got the real-time box score ticking along as well. There's now really locking in on today's game. quick start as well. They know that they can't afford to give up any form of a gap. It will be one of the most competitive games this year. It's going to be tapped back and picked up by Chakir. Straight away to Messerman. She's been looking good in recent weeks. The arrival of Stewart has almost had a liberating effect on Messerman. Chakir, a little heavy with the first shot of the game. First of what will probably be many rebounds for Alyssa Thomas. Black now. Pick and roll with Jones, perfectly delivered pass. That is execution of the highest order, and this potentially could be one of the advantages that Praha have. They've been together as a unit for pretty much the entire season. They know each other perfectly now, while there might be still a few little teething situations for Fenerbahce. Yakupova in and out with her first jump shot. Conde does the hard work, hustles away down the lane, just strength to find that space, but left hand layup doesn't work. Yakupova, hesitation, kicks it out. Messerman, flat, back of the iron, spits it away. Savljevic inside to Thomas, gets the score. This is exactly the start that Coach Heshkova will have wanted. Very bright, nice level of energy, good team ethos so far for Praha. McBride, soft right hand, not soft enough. Thomas, skip pass, wide open, Conde, nothing but the bottom of the bucket. A 7-0 start to the game. In fact, no, Conde's foot over the line, just a 2. Still, dream start for Praha, opening up a 6-point lead. Yakupova with the cheeky slash to the basket. Gets Fenerbahce up and running. Conde tries to throw it inside to Thomas. It's a poor pass, really blinded as well, Conde. Let's have a look at the call. Offensive foul is going to be called against Brianna Stewart. Conde taking the charge, but coming up hobbling. She's a warrior. That's not going to get her out of the game, that's for sure. As I said in the pre-game, Praha's defense could be a big difference in this game. Praha's defense level can match that of Fenerbahce's offense. This one's got another overtime written all over it. Savljevic now going up against McBride. That's going to be an interesting battle because Savljevic just jumps through the defense, gets another offensive rebound. Misses a second time. Vuka Savljevic averaging just shy of 16 points a game. She's turned up this season for sure offensively. Pass inside to Stewart. And that is bread and butter for Brianna Stewart. Crowder into this game early on, and that's only going to help the home team. Backed it away by Messerman. Praha ball on the baseline. Let's change as Conde's going to hobble to the bench. That is a worry for Praha. She's going to go straight for attention from the medical team. In a place comes Villalova. Inside to Jones. Great defense by Brianna Stewart. Just stays strong and tall on that one. Vuka Savljevic goes low for the interception. Both teams playing some good defense in the first 3.5 minutes. moment they're fronting Brianna Jones and it's working for Fenerbahce. Kayla McBride, easy right hand on the run. Ties the game at 6 apiece. Praha's early lead quickly extinguished by the Turkish team. Strong move to the basket. Very sprightly, high energy start for both of these teams right now. Chaka into Messerman. Big battle between her and Jones. Step back 2 is good. Emma Messerman's really stepped up in recent weeks. Had 25 against Polkovica 3 weeks ago. Thomas now waiting for the screen from Jones. Gives it away to Villalova. Jones now got the one-on-one she wants. Brianna Stewart. Long wingspan. Can just reach in and bat that one away. Brianna Jones trying to bully her way down in the paint against Stewart. Up, elbow jumper short, defense just sprawled all over. Yagapova heads up pass. McBride, almost gets it. That would have been a hell of a finish by McBride. Praha have the numbers now though. Thomas draws the foul. It's just been blocked. Should clarify that one. In fact, no, they're saying Thomas just spilled it out of bounds after the block from Messerman. Stewart. Offensive foul is going to be called on Messerman though. Illegal screen. Just trying to open up the space for Brianna Stewart to operate in. First change for Fenerbahce as Stewart goes to the bench and Satu Sabali comes in. One of the mid-season arrivals as well, Satu Sabali. 19 points against Virtus Bologna last week though, so she's certainly settling in well here for Fenerbahce. Villalova to come back out to Oblak, shot clock to 4. Travelling violation is going to be called on Oblak, and the way the game's played out so far, it's a little bit more defensive focused than I think many were expecting. That plays towards the strengths of Praha though. The more it's about defense, the longer Praha will stay in this game. McBride being guarded by Vukasavljevic. Chaka for 3, off right, rebound fight, comes off. I think it's Alyssa Thomas, so it will remain Fenerbahce ball, and they'll get a fresh 14 to work with. Djordjevic will come in as well as Messerman goes to the bench, and this really is where Fenerbahce have the advantage. They're able to rotate, and the level really doesn't drop down. 23-year-old Djordjevic, Serbian international, another one of the mid-season arrivals. Stolen away, Thomas one-on-one against Sabali. Foul's going to be called. No, it's off the knee of Alyssa Thomas. It'll be another turnover. She's frustrated at the call. 2 turnovers by Alyssa Thomas, really. Game tied at 8 apiece. Yagapova to Sabali. Not this time. The team finding a huge amount of joy from outside. Most of the points being created by good team offense. So Thomas covers the loose ball. Vukasavljevic nails the 3. Looks like Chaka is just struggling a little right now after the big screen set by Alyssa Thomas. Seems to jar her shoulder slightly. Almost puts Oblak on skates. Handle from Chaka. Yagapova 3. Oh, nails the 3 from the wing. Fenerbahce, everything that Praha have at the moment, Fenerbahce have an answer. Low post now, Jones spin, lovely move. Djordjevic just left in a dust, really. Will have to come back out. They've still got plenty of shot clock to work with, though. Trying to shake O'Black. It's easier said than done. Got forced into a very difficult shot. Now Praha have numbers, a 4-on-3 break. Villalova, short. Rebound by Sabali. Oh, and wide open is Chaka. Didn't come back to play defense as she slipped, and she's calling for a sub right now. A little bit beaten up in the early phases, Chaka. Took a shot from Thomas, slipped on the baseline on that play. Offensive foul will be called on Alyssa Thomas. Chaka gets hit once again. Praha will make a change as Vukosavljevic comes out. Oh no, in fact it's going to be Thomas coming out. Mind, she didn't see the bench in the entire game last time these two faced up against each other. Benley comes into the game for Praha. That one's short. Rebound falls kindly for Praha. Now they're out at the races. Villalova kicks it. Vukosavljevic, wing three, nails it. Opens up the 3-point lead. Under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. McBride looking for options. There's nothing there right now. Working hard though. Ratza skips it to the wing to Yagapova. Just trying to shape to create some space. Sabali, lovely drop step, draws the foul of Vukosavljevic. She's calling for the travel. Not a chance. That's great footwork by Satu Sabali. Send Sabali to the line. Just 60% so far in the 4 games she's played up to today. It's the first of her 2. Her first points on the board in today's game. Onside, 1 rebound and an assist. She's averaging 11.5 points a game. This is the second. In fact, Benley bats it back to Jones, and Praha will come away with a 2-point lead. Ball inside to Jones, stolen away. Yakpova read it well. 2-on-1 break. Ratza goes high. Vukosavljevic just bats it away. Rim protection from the French international. Jumper mid-range for Vukosavljevic. That's short. All over. Right place, right time for that rebound. Like Benley. Praha crashing the offensive glass, and they get their rewards as Vorachkova scoops up that little short offensive rebound and puts it back with ease. Yagapova, foul's going to be called on Brianna Jones. Under 40 seconds left in this first quarter. Praha with a 4-point lead as Yagapova will head to the free throw line. 82% from the free throw line. Alina Yagapova. She is a player that certainly knows how to win things. 2 times EuroLeague Women MVP, 2020 and 2021. In the second season at Fenerbahce. They're going to make the change as Yagapova will go to the bench and Aydin comes in. As expected, this game has been absolutely nail-biting already, and we're only in the first quarter. 2 teams at the absolute top of the game going toe-to-toe. Villalova now pulls inside. Soft little jumper, not soft enough. Runs off Brianna Jones's foot, so it'll be a possession back to Fenerbahce. 26.9 seconds left on the first quarter clock, so a little bit of space between the shot clock and the game clock that Praha might get to work with. Aydin to McBride. Step back jumper goes up. That's a tough shot. She can't make it. McBride will be called for the foul. Frustration there by Kayla McBride. The veterans in this Fenerbahce roster. Third season in Turkey in Istanbul for her. Kova inbounds to Violova. 3 seconds. Violova kicks it out wide open. Fagbenle for three! Rattles it in! She knew it was good the moment it left her hands. And that really does underline a strong first quarter for Praha. 10 minutes in the book. They lead this one by 5. That is a perfect start for Coach Hejkova and her team. At the end of 10, it's Praha 21, Fenerbahce 16. Some of the highlights from that first quarter of action. Absolutely nail-biting game of the week. Pitched as potentially game of the regular season, this one. I know that's where I see it. Starts for big players. Vukasavljevic already up to 8 points for Praha. Just behind her for Fenerbahce is Jakubova. She has 7. This one is starting to bubble up nicely as these two teams go toe-to-toe.
Praha first back to the floor. No real surprise. They want to get going. Carry on with a little bit of momentum that Fagbenle put up with that 3 at the buzzer at the end of the first. Second quarter action underway here in Prague. End of the first quarter. It's the home team Praha with a 5-point lead over the visitors Fenerbahce. Inside to Fagbenle's knocked away and spilled out of bounds. Sideline ball for Fenerbahce. Stewart clashes heads with Alyssa Thomas. All right on the cheekbone. Looks like she's in a fair bit of pain with that one. Still on the floor. Concerned teammates over. I think she'll be okay. Just a clash of heads with her and Alyssa Thomas. Foul called on Alyssa Thomas for that. That will be Thomas's second foul, which is a worry for Praha. She is the keystone in this roster, holding a lot of what they do together at times. Sheshkova will no options but to keep her in the game and just hope that she can play within that foul trouble. Such a diverse crowd we have here. Young couples, kids, die-hard lifetime basketball fans, you name it. They are courtside watching. Could be one of the best games in Europe this week. Creating memories for sure. Chaka now receives the inbound. Sably looking to post up against Vorachkova. Sably believes that she has a bit of a strength advantage over Vorachkova. She has 10 centimeters on her as well, so that will certainly play. Messerman drives the baseline, tries to just reach through and scoop the shot away, but the defense is good from Praha. Vorachkova puts the three up. That one's batted away by Thomas. I think that will be Fenerbahce ball. No, it's come off a Fenerbahce hand. It will be Praha ball. You can see the capacity crowd. Plenty in the stands to cheer their team on. Pass inside, 2-0 Black. That one's batted away. Out to Villalova though. In and out with the three ball for her. Praha's offense just dried up a little here in the second quarter. Fenerbahce yet to score as well. Messerman into Aydin. Back out to Stewart. Patience needed from Fenerbahce. Shot clock at 8 though. Chaka just weaves away through the paint. Easy two off the glass. Black. Over. Screen from Fagbenle. Fagbenle flashes away. Telegraph that though out to Stewart. She'll get an easy transition bucket off the turnover. And Stewart just feeds on that kind of play. 2 from 2 from the field for Brianna Stewart now. Almost stolen away again. Both these teams very good defensively. Praha slightly better. Thomas inside, can't get the score, will draw the foul. Sably will be called for that one. Thomas will head to the free throw line for shots. % from the free throw line, even though she does have that unorthodox form to her. Teams almost challenge her to take jumpers at times, giving her so much space in the mid-range. Gets the second to roll this time. Praha's lead back out to 2. Remember, it was at 5 at the end of the first quarter. Oh, easy score for Sably, just running. Little back pick on the passer. Sably slashing to the basket, wide open. Vorachkova. Elbow jumper for her, off the glass for 2. This game starting to pick up again. A slow opening minute to the second quarter is a long distant memory right now. Sably comes back, tries to skip it inside to Stewart. She does so, and Stewart just rises high, uses the glass well, ties the game at 24 apiece. I feel like Fenerbahce are just starting to wrestle control of this game. The flow, the style of the game is moving towards the Turkish team's preferences. Thomas, just pure strength. Physicality that Alyssa Thomas plays every possession with, I have to say, pretty much unmatched. I'm not sure I can name another player that plays with that level as hard as she does for as long as she does in the game. So Thomas, though, throws it out of bounds as Black looked to leak out for the transition.
Substitution Fenerbahce number 21, replaces number 0.
Sabali will come out of the game. Jagopova will come back in, as will McBride as well. Checker to McBride. Catch and shoot for McBride. Short and left. Jagopova with the rebound. Rebound of the night for her. Inside to Stewart against Vukosavljevic. Foul will be called on Vukosavljevic. It's the right call. You might be standing straight up, but you're walking forwards. We'll send Stewart to the line for shots. Stewart really has been a huge addition to this Fenerbahce roster. A player of the quality of Breanna Stewart. Does elevate any roster on the planet, to be honest with you. Game day 2 for her. She came in with a 30-point, 17 rebound display against Zexard. Averaging 20 across the 4 games she's played. Stolen away, good read by Chaka. Out to Messamon. Short corner 2 is no good. Rebound pulled down by Fagbenle. Foul will be called on Stewart. Fagbenle did well there under the pressure from Stewart, just skipping it across to a left hand, sort of reach around, was never going to get near the ball. Sideline possession for Praha. Neither team really in foul trouble right now. 2 team fouls each in this quarter, as Sabali will come in and Stewart will head to the bench. A short break for Satu Sabali, just 24 years old though, so plenty of miles left on her legs. Savljevic drives inside, gets the first step, and the pass is batted away. Fortunate to recover possession, Praha. In the corner, Vukosavljevic, rebounding battle between Jagopova and Jones. That's just pure muscle battling that one out down in the low post. Jagopova manages just to stay in it long enough to be able to bat it away. Inside, Thomas being guarded by Sabali. Foul's going to be called as Sabali reaches over. Thomas will go to the free throw line for shots. This is the first. Certainly struggling so far today from the line. 1 from 3 at the moment. Make that 2 from 4. Back out to a narrow 2-point lead. We're almost halfway through this second quarter now. It's absolutely flown by. No real surprise when you've got this quality on display. Chaka now out to Jagopova. Jagopova, little side step, puts the 3 up. Too heavy with that one though. Thomas hands it off to Vukosavljevic. She drives inside, off the glass, nice and easy. Sabali there caught really in a difficult spot. Don't want to commit another foul. Get herself into foul trouble. Kayla McBride, catch and shoot, no good again. McBride gets hot though, one of the best on the planet with the quick release. Offensive foul will be called on Alyssa Thomas. That's her second offensive foul, but more importantly, that is her 3rd personal foul right now. That puts Coach Hejkova really up against it now. They're going to leave her in the game. They could potentially get her to the bench and get to the half-time locker room either with a slight lead or just a small deficit. I think Praha would take that. Thomas overcommitting again. Messerman, short corner 2 is good. Brings Fenerbahce within 2. Black now. Short corner for Jones. She gets it. Another Jones, 6 points now alongside 4 rebounds. 3 from 4 from the field for Jones. Jagpova. Inside now. Sabali. Come back out. Shot clock to 6. Chaka drives inside, pulls up short. Defense was great there by Teo Black. Just stayed with her. Enough body on her, but not too much. Savljevic using the screen from Jones. Tries to get round the corner. It's a poor pass. Sabali behind the back to start the transition. Stretches the legs out and gets the score. Satu Sabali. Every time I see her, you have to be impressed with the way she plays the game. Sometimes forget she's just 24 years old. Praha running a horns action at the top now for O'Black to work on. Thrown away again by Teo O'Black, this time picked up by McBride, and just like that, Fenerbahce tie the game up, 31 apiece. Under 3 minutes left in the first half. Timeout's going to be called by Coach Hejkova for Praha. Under 3 minutes left in this first half. We're tied at 31 apiece. No surprises there. Remember when these two met back in December, it had an extra 5 minutes of basketball that was needed before the game could be decided. You wouldn't be surprised if the same happened again here today. It was 82-72 in the end in favor of Fenerbahce. Their deeper roster paying dividends back in December. The fans are enjoying themselves. No real surprise. It's always a good night here in Prague for the basketball. It's been an important 3 minutes now for both of these teams as well. Both will want the lead going into the locker room. Certainly will give them the edge. Coach Hejkova's taken Alyssa Thomas out of the game on 3 fouls. Brianna Jones, drop step, draws the foul. Who's that going to be on? Is it on Sabali or Jagpova?
Second personal foul from Satu Sabali. Brianna Jones.
It's going to be Sabali's second personal foul. Brianna Jones at the line. This is the first of her two, and Praha have not been on form at the line so far. So far tonight, that is. 3 from 6 from the free throw line so far in today's game. That make from Jones does give Praha the lead though, and there is a psychological element to that. Sabali, that is a tough play. Just really dipped her head. No other outcome that she was going to go to the basket no matter what defense was put in front of her. Kova now throws it away. Some of the passing from Praha just has not been crisp enough. The angles and the lanes they're passing through. Easy for Fenerbahce to intercept. This time it's Chaka that gets the layup and gives them the lead. Fenerbahce looking good in this second quarter. O'Black now in Coffin corner, all tied up by McBride, and Chaka throws it off Fenerbahce leg though, so it'll be a sideline ball for Praha.
Substitution Fenerbahce.
Substitution called. Istanbul Loalu called into the game. And Sabli heads to the bench. Over 2 minutes still left in this first half. Black. Benley sets the screen inside. Benley's going to draw the foul from Ratza. We'll send Benley to the free throw line. There's only 1.4 seconds left on the shot clock as well. Benley, a 70% free throw shooter, as we see Vorachkova head to the bench and Vilova come into the action for Praha. Brings a lot of experience to the floor. Temi Fagbenle played in Poland, Turkey, Spain, Italy, the Czech Republic, the US. 30 years old now, the Great Britain international. Always plays the game with a smile on her face. I probably would as well if I could play at that level and with that ability. Thrown away though, good defense from Praha. Putting pressure on. Benley's one made free throw ties the game up again. Savljevic, Fagbenle open in the corner. Too heavy, Jones with the offensive rebound, but she misses. She'll go again, and she'll get the and one play, Brianna Jones. Praha showing a little bit more heart and hustle right now. Hustling on the offensive glass. Jones at the line for the bonus. Chance to extend it to a 3-point lead, which she does. 90 seconds left in the first half here in Prague. Game day 12, Group A of the EuroLeague Women regular season. Absolutely the business end of proceedings right now. McBride, step back, elbow jumper. Fagbenle with the rebound, her third of the night. Inside, Jones looking to go to work, hands it off to Fagbenle, who gets another score. Five-point lead now for Praha. Final minute of this first half. McBride, little crossover jumper for three is off as well. Wow, Fenerbahce seem to be getting a little bit of momentum, and it's completely collapsed right now as Praha in the ascendancy. Shot clock down to 10. Vilova to Jones. Double team's going to come across. Vilova puts it up. Rebound for McBride. Istanbuloglu just spills it out of bounds, and that's the problem with coming off the bench cold. Just not ready to go. 17-year-old's not played that many minutes this year, just featured in 3 games prior to today, averaging 2.5 minutes in each of those games, and it is tough to step in to a game at this level when you just haven't had the court time to get you up to speed. What will probably be the final play of this first half falls to Praha. O'Black now running the clock down. 7 left. Lukas Savljevic drives inside to O'Black. Jones, is she going to get it away? She gets it away, and it's good! The 2 will count. What a way to close out the first half for Praha. Their lead extended out to 7. Coach's challenge is coming, I think, from Coach Malkovic. Is it a challenge to say, I think the clock had expired before the shot was released? Those that don't know, coach's challenge now. Each coach gets an opportunity to challenge an official's call. The only calls they can challenge, though, are those that the officials could review themselves, such as whether a clock had expired, whether it was a 2 or a 3, whether to upgrade or downgrade a foul from an unsportsmanlike. These are the things that they can look at, and that is what Coach Malkovic has asked the officials to go and look at, that final shot of the half. coach just gets one a game though. Whether their challenge is right or wrong, it's just one challenge a game. Let's see what the officials say. No, they're going to wave away the basket. That is a good use of a challenge from Coach Malkovic. 2 points wiped off the board. That will move it back to a 5-point ball game here in Prague at the half. But what a first half we have had. Very, very impressive to say the least. Both these two teams at the top of the game right now, putting on a show for us. The superstars are coming out to shine. Brianna Stewart, 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks for her already. Alyssa Thomas, interesting times for her. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. But maybe more scarily for Praha, and for those Praha fans out there, she has 3 personal fouls already. Unbelievably, she only played 15 minutes of the first 20. Brianna Jones did step up though in her spot. She's on double digits, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Nearly a shoe-in for a double-double tonight, Brianna Jones. Also, Vukasavljevic is on double digits. She has 10 points and 4 rebounds. For Fenerbahce, their spreading is split across 6 players. No one with double digits. Leading the way is Brianna Stewart and Alina Yakpova, who have 7 apiece. Just behind them, Chaka with 6 and Sabali with 5. An exciting first half of action here in Prague, without a shadow of a doubt, living up to all the hype. Game of the week, potentially game of the regular season. At the half here, it's Praha 38, Fenerbahce 33. Second half action coming up. Make sure you go nowhere. 6 second chance points. There is your 5-point lead right there. Praha out early from the half-time locker room to get back into their warm-ups. Fenerbahce just arriving a minute or so ago. Some of the heroes so far in today's games for Fenerbahce. No player to get to double digits yet. Jakubova has 7, as does Brianna Stewart. For Praha, 2 players registering double digits. Brianna Jones, 10 points and 8 rebounds. Certainly on for her almost obligatory double-double as it seems. And Vuka Savljevic has 10 points and 4 rebounds. A big 20 minutes of basketball ahead of us here in Prague. Remember, if Fenerbahce win today, they secure a place in the playoffs. For Praha, the same cannot be said. They will not guarantee a spot in the playoffs with a win today. My goodness me, it's a big step forward, and maybe to a certain degree, even more importantly, it potentially gives them a very good step towards a high seeding situation for the playoffs. Remember, top 4 teams from the 8-team group here in Group A go forward. We have 5 teams that are left with a chance of making it through. That's Bourges, Valencia, Polkovica, Praha and Fenerbahce. But only 4 of those 5 will make it through to the postseason playoffs. The fans have absolutely flooded in here tonight. They have brought a wonderful atmosphere. Absolutely, rightfully so, for a big game of European basketball. Say it now, you find me a better game of basketball anywhere in the world right now than we've got here, you're going to struggle. This is the highest level of basketball, that is for sure. Half 5 out on the floor. Alyssa Thomas going to start the 3rd quarter. Going to have to be careful though, she's playing with 3 fouls. Change from the starting 5 from Praha is Conde does not start. She picked up an injury in the 1st quarter, had to hobble to the bench. In her place is the 23-year-old Jakubova to start this 3rd. Fenerbahce are going to roll with the same 5 that started the game to start the 2nd half. Jakubova, McBride, Stewart, Chaka, Messerman. Second half underway here in Prague. Game day 12 of the EuroLeague Women regular season. As top takes on second Fenerbahce, who are top of the table, trail by 5 at the half to second place Praha. To Stewart. Stewart drives in. Short little jumper is off. Grabs her own rebound and bats it back to Messerman. Stewart with the long jumper is off again. 2 early attempts though for Stewart and uncontested to a certain degree. Thomas kicks it out. Jakubova to Jones. Catch and shoot at the top for Jakubova. Neither team dialed in from range as of yet. Stewart just going straight at Jones there, and Jones just standing her ground for Praha. Black. Jones at the free throw line is short, chases down for the rebound, but it gets batted back to Kayla McBride, and Fenerbahce will bring that up the other end of the floor. Chaka, nice pick and roll. Stewart with the easy score. Absolutely smooth play between those two. Brianna Stewart hobbling a little bit though. Praha's lead to 3. They build up that 5-point lead in the 1st quarter. Managed to stay with Fenerbahce in the 2nd and hold on to the 5-point lead to take into the locker room. Thomas drives inside, pulls up short, has to go high over the outstretched Messerman hand. Foul's going to be called on O'Black. First foul of the second half. One on Taya O'Black. Messerman now to Stewart. Double team drops on her, opening up McBride for the three. Kayla McBride. The quickest releases on the three ball that you'll see in the game. It's just hours and hours of practice, thousands of repetitions. Savljevic hands it back out to Jones. Shot clock to 6. Jones spins against Messerman. Good defense from Messerman. Jones looked like she'd done a great job with the quick, solid footwork, but Messerman recovered and stayed with the play. Messerman feeds it inside to Stewart. Foul will be called on O'Black. In the act of shooting as well, so Stewart had made that. It would have been a three-point play. Instead, Stewart heads to the free throw line for 2 shots. Line for the second. It's the second. Fenerbahce now with the lead. The biggest lead of the game, unbelievably. Led the game for less than 30 seconds prior to that. Oh, crossover, Vukasavljevic. Travelling violation, though, called on Vorachkova. As Praha have stumbled out of the locker room into this second half and are really struggling to get things going right now. A 7-0 run to start the second half has meant that Fenerbahce have taken the lead. Change made by Praha as Benley comes in for Vorachkova. Probably the strongest 5 on the floor now for Coach Hezkova, bearing in mind that Conde looks like she won't feature again today. Chaka tries to skip the impossible pass, almost makes it through to Messerman. Yagapova has to throw a prayer, ends up with an air ball. Thomas to Fagbenle. Fagbenle just spills it. The pass was there, but Benley was probably too busy thinking about finishing it before she caught it. Brown's been in the game for the whole 23.5 minutes so far. They certainly will play their part in today's game. Chaka now using the Stewart screen, weaving around her, trying to create space for her own jumper. She does so, but misses that little free throw line jumper. Off the foot of Chaka. Shot clock will remain at 18. Fenerbahce will remain with a 2-point lead, a little over 6 left in this third quarter. O'Black, pick and roll with Jones. Lovely crossover and a sidestep into the jumper. The handle and footwork alone deserve the points, but the jump shot lets her down. Stewart open for 3. O'Black throws the long pass to Thomas. Vukasavljevic. Only throw it out of bounds and it will be Fenerbahce ball. Yagapova, just strength to get to the basket. Finish isn't there though. The team has had a blistering start to this third quarter. It's been a little bit more like the start of the game, really. Both teams just trying to find their way back into the game after the halftime break. It was fine. minutes into the third quarter now. Praha yet to score, and Fenerbahce only with 7 points. Black comes back round to Fagbenle, free throw line jumper, and that takes the seal off the basket for Praha. And Fagbenle joined several games into the season. This is game number 8 for her in EuroLeague Women's, and she really has been a huge asset for Praha. Thomas steals it away. Praha now with a chance to reclaim their lead. Oh, Black almost dribbles it off her foot. They'll slow it down though, plenty of shot clock to work with. Sabljevic. Čaker called for the blocking foul. Second team foul of the quarter on Fenerbahce. Sideline ball though for Fenerbahce. Baseline ball, sorry, for Praha. Crowd capacity here. It's a great shot that one was. Benley. Sabljevic. It's going to be stolen away by McBride. That one's on the floor though. Benley slightly lucky not to be called for an unsportsmanlike. The shot has to be heaved. Oh, Black catches it and throws it back up. No good. But that's been thrown out of bounds by Sabali, so it'll be a Praha ball. What a mistake by Satu Sabali. Absolute rookie mistake from Sabali. She thought that the buzzer was the shot clock violation, but it wasn't. They released it in time, and Sabali's just thrown it out of bounds. Taps her chest and says, my fault, my mistake. Possession. Black now splits the defense, tries to throw it to Jones, but Jones on the floor. Unbelievably, Praha will hold on to it. Foot violation is going to be called on Fenerbahce. So Praha will get another bite at this one. Unbelievably so as well. Popova will come back in. Čaker will head to the bench for Fenerbahce. Popova's only just gone to the bench 30 seconds ago. Savljevic to Thomas. Thomas now. Strength as she goes inside. The finish isn't there. Brianna Jones will be called for the foul as she fights Sabali for the offensive rebound. And what was a pretty slick second quarter, both teams really operating at a high level, turned into a much more physical, scrappy battle as Savljevic heads to the bench and Violova comes back in for Praha. A very different brand of basketball here in the third quarter compared to the second. It has massively slowed the scoring down and become a little bit more of a battle than it had been prior to the halftime break. Stewart now. Mismatch for Messman being guided by Violova. Thomas knocks it out of bounds. It'll still be Fenerbahce ball. 5 seconds on the baseline. Messerman, no good, long, and that one bounces out of bounds, so Praha will take possession. And you think to a certain degree maybe this slightly plays more towards Praha right now, that the game is a little bit scrappier. They've struggled to get into the third quarter, and as long as they can stay with Fenerbahce when times are tough, when that changes and they start to find some offense, then they've got a chance of coming away and winning this game. Tied at 40 apiece, 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Violova waits for the Jones screen. Didn't wait quite long enough though. Benley will hand it off to Savljevic. She throws it away to Sabali. Sabali out at the races. A 1-on-3 though, hands it to Stewart, and one! Benley makes the mistake and fouls Brianna Stewart under the bucket. Stewart to the free throw line for the bonus. Second personal foul for Fagbenle. That also pushes Praha into the penalty right now. See Conde there on the end of the bench with a full tracksuit on and a foot up out of a boot. Maybe some form of ankle injury for Maria Conde. What is a tough task to beat Fenerbahce is even tougher when you lose one of your pivotal players, and a player certainly the quality and the experience of Maria Conde. Black now into the low post to Jones, being guarded by Messerman. Muscling away to the basket. Messerman does absolutely everything she can in that situation. Brianna Jones just too strong and too tough to stop her getting the points. McBride for three, nails it. Took a little bit more time, Kayla McBride, and it certainly paid off as she hits a huge three and gives Fenerbahce a game-high 4-point lead now. Jones, Villalova, in and out, rebound, becomes a fight. It's knocked out of bounds by Villalova though, so Fenerbahce will take possession. McBride up over the half. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Fenerbahce starting just to wrestle control away from Praha. Sabali with the handle and the spin up against Vukasavljevic. Sabali, pure quality and belief. Get to the points. She knew exactly what was going to happen in that play. Ran it to perfection. Vukasavljevic for three. That is a big time for Valerian Vukasavljevic to step up and hit a jumper. Halves the deficit, brings Praha back to within three. Stewart, long two, draws the foul from Jones. Stewart will be making another trip to the free throw line. Already had 5 free throws tonight, 4 from 5 from the charity stripe. She's back again for another 2. She's leading all scorers at the moment with 14 points. It's the first of her 2. Extends Fenerbahce's lead out to 4. Hits them both. See Brianna Jones head to the bench and Rochkova come into the game. Both Brianna Jones and Alyssa Thomas now on 3 fouls. Still over 11 minutes on the game clock to play. Thomas double teamed. It's just not quite moving quick enough out of the double team for Praha. Rochkova spills it. Well, it's actually stolen away. McBride drives inside off the glass with the early release, and it's Sabali who will scoop up the offensive board and the score. Fenerbahce now just starting to apply that legendary pressure that they know how to do. 7-point lead for the Turkish team right now. Vukasavljevic for 3. That one's heavy. Where's the foul? I think it's going to be on Sabali. He's pushing Fagbenle as she looks to go for the steal. That'll be the 3rd personal foul on Satu Sabali as well. See Sabali head to the bench as the masked Chakar comes into the game. mask for a few weeks now to protect the recovery from that injury, that facial injury. Black. Mismatch, but won't use it. Instead, they're going to look to try and go to the mismatch in the low post for Fagbenle, but McBride bats that mismatch away. Thomas, Vukasavljevic open for three. It's short and left. Fagbenle gets the offensive glass, cleans it up and gets the two. Benle stepping up now, double digits for her alongside 4 rebounds. Messerman, oh, and a block. Not in Temi's house. Baseline ball for Fenerbahce. 6.5 seconds left in the quarter. Ball inbounded. Stewart, corner 3. No good. Quick outlet pass. But that will be the end of the quarter here in Prague. A quarter owned by Fenerbahce, outscoring Praha by 10. 19-9 in that quarter. End of the third quarter. Our score here is Praha 47, Fenerbahce 52. Win. Remember, a win tonight for Praha would move them onto the same record as Fenerbahce. It would move them onto a 9-3 record. However, if Fenerbahce are able to hold out and take the win, that locks them into the postseason. They're the first team to secure a place in the playoffs here in EuroLeague Women. Always an entertaining night here in Prague. Absolute capacity crowd in the arena today. They have been given a wonderful show by both these teams. The best teams on the planet right now. I'd love to see you argue with me on that one. They are phenomenal teams, stacked with some of the best players there are, going toe to toe. I love EuroLeague women basketball. Look, even the superheroes are in attendance on the baseline. That's how big a draw this ticket was tonight. Fourth quarter action underway here in Prague. Our visitors, Fenerbahce, have turned the tables in the third quarter. They have a 5-point lead as we're into the final 10 minutes, but just like that, Vukasavljevic slides to the basket and receives a precision pass from Brianna Jones. Trims that Fenerbahce lead to just 3. Jumper is good. 3-ball. Kayla McBride. 13 points for her now. 5 from 13 from the field. She struggled to find a range early on in the game, but really has stepped up in this second half. Savljevic now to Jones. Shot clock down to 2. They're going to have to put a prayer up. Black gets it away. Rebound by McBride. Fenerbahce will come back the other way. Yagapova. McBride wide open. This is a rare miss for Kayla McBride when she has that kind of space. Shooting 39% from downtown across the season. That is a huge stat when you consider how many shots she puts up. Pass inside to Jones, wonderful. That's a great bit of vision from the 23-year-old Vorachkova. game now in the fourth quarter feels a bit more like the second quarter did. We had a little bit of a scrappy third quarter as travelling violation is called on Fenerbahce. You can just feel the atmosphere starting to bubble here in Prague. Black. Savljevic drives inside, draws the foul off McBride. It's the first foul of this fourth quarter from either team. Second personal foul on Kayla McBride. Vukasavljevic will go to the line for free throws. First trip of the night for her. Shooting 92% across the season. I always say that with gritted teeth as a commentator. One of my friends pointed out the other day I seem to have a habit of giving them the commentator's curse at a free throw line, but Vukasavljevic seems to be able to get through it without too much damage. Just like that, Fenerbahce's lead is trimmed to just 2. 8 minutes left on the game clock right now. 6-3 start to the final quarter for Praha. Stewart to Messerman, shot clock at 3. Messerman drives inside, just barrels away through, pushing Vukasavljevic out of the way to get to the bucket. Within the rules of the game, Mad. Foul's going to be called on Sabali. That'll be her 4th foul. She's frustrated at the call. Just got caught on the wrong side of the roll. She got sealed out by Brianna Jones. Take it as an insult. Brianna Jones has been doing the same thing to hundreds of players across the world for years now. Sabali just on the long list of players that struggle to stay with Brianna Jones in the low post. Black. Out to Vukasavljevic for 3. And Praha are within 1. Vukasavljevic now up to 20 points alongside 7 rebounds. What a night for her. She has a season high of 33. That was against Valencia all the way back on game day 2. Messerman. These fouls as the double team comes down. Vukasavljevic will get called for that one. Just her 2nd foul though. 2nd foul of the quarter for Praha as well. Baseline ball for Fenerbahce. Will we see a reaction from Fenerbahce? They have a roster of superstars. Now's the time for them to step up. Almost stolen away by Brianna Jones. Dives and cheats into the passing lane, but can only bat it out of bounds. But 2.4 seconds left on the shot clock now for Fenerbahce to work with. Baseline ball for them. Pass inside to Messerman. Foul's going to be called on Brianna Jones. That is a get out of jail free. Could be her 4th foul. That is a problem for Coach Heshkova and Praha. Jones stay in the game. Sabali will head to the bench. Are they going to risk Brianna Jones right now? 6 minutes, 50 seconds still to play. She's on 4 fouls. Fenerbahce out by 1. Messerman on the line for free throws. That's the first of her 2. 73% prior to today's game, Emma Messerman. It's her first trip to the free throw line. Perfect from the line at that trip. Fenerbahce's lead slightly extended out to 3 points now. Savljevic to O'Black. Oh, tried to skip it inside of Vorachkova, but the pass just wasn't there. The lane got closed way too quickly. That's going to be called on Vorachkova. pushing Stewart from behind as she cuts through. Jones is going to head to the bench. Fagbenle is going to come back in. A slightly smaller lineup with Fagbenle on the floor. See how that changes things for Praha. Oh, what a move by Agapova. Draws the foul. Doesn't get the score though. Send Agapova to the line for 2 shots. Praha in the penalty now as well. That is problematic. Fenerbahce, a pretty good free throw shooting team, just shy of 80% across the season as a team. Agapova 82% as a player. This is the second though. Fenerbahce's lead is at 4. Black now uses the Thomas screen. Fagbenle long 2, nails it. Nothing but the bottom of the bucket for Fagbenle. Praha's offense has got to be working right now. As Messerman just fades to the short corner, gets herself to double digits with that jumper. 4 assists and 10 points for Emma Messerman in today's game. Vukosavljevic drives the baseline. A little short elbow jumper from Fagbenle is off target. Pace of the game's just starting to accelerate against. Agapova against Vukosavljevic. Little step back 3 ball, way too heavy from Alina Agapova. A bit quieter in today's second half. Thomas skips it. Vukosavljevic 3 ball from the wing. Marijan Vukosavljevic, 23 points, 5 from 9 from downtown for the French international. Praha within 1 and it's thrown away by Chaka. Into the final 5 minutes and Praha are starting to find a little bit of traction. Timeout called here by coach Malkovic. Let's head into the huddles, see what the coaches have to say. Our team will no doubt start leaning on this crowd. They've delivered throughout the game and they'll deliver in the stretch. The final 5 minutes of this one for the Praha team. The crowd will play their part. Heard their reaction to this little bit of momentum that Praha have snaffled away, have stolen away from Fenerbahce. Though foul trouble, injury issues. You can see Maria Conde hobbling off using that crutch. That's a worrying sight for the home fans. Nothing major. We see her back on the floor in future weeks. Praha though do have some foul trouble to contend with. Brianna Jones is on 4 fouls. Alyssa Thomas is on 3. For Fenerbahce, their only foul trouble is Safu Sabali. She has 4 fouls, but Fenerbahce a deeper roster to lean into than Praha. Could that come back to cause Praha issues here in the final 5? Fagbenle tries to drift it inside to Thomas, kicks it out to O'Black, shoelace catch. 3 ball is good though. That is a tough skill from Taya O'Black. The pass was on her shoelaces. She picks it all the way up and drains the 3, giving Praha the 2-point lead. Agapova to Messerman. So much experience on both rosters though, they're not going to be phased. Shot clock to 5. Agapova crossover, drives inside, kicks it out. Corner 3 is short. Rebound by Vukasavljevic. Listen to the crowd. Every play that goes the way of Praha, the decibels go up here in the arena. Benley looks to hand it off to Vorachkova. What's being asked of that young lady tonight? Doesn't get the jumper to go. She's 23 years old, Veronika Vorachkova. Stewart floats inside, uncontested. Gets the score. And that's the problem when Brianna Jones is not on the floor. Praha just don't have that rim protection. The game is tied, 3.5 minutes to play. This is what we expected. This is what we wanted from two of the best teams in the world right now. Rebound, Brianna Stewart. Who's going to be the hero for either of these teams? Is it Sabali? She drives inside, misses a jumper, but gets the rebound, draws the foul from Fagbenle, hits the two, will go to the free throw line for the three-point play. Third foul on Temi Fagbenle. Brianna Jones is going to come back in. No real choice for Coach Heshkova. No rim protection if she's not on the floor. Vorachkova will head to the bench. And this is, for me, Praha's best five on the floor right now. Fagbenle gets to move more out to the wing. Being a 4 or 5. Three-point play completed by Sabali. Fenerbahce out to a 3-point lead. 3 minutes left on the game clock. Vukasavljevic back to Fagbenle. It's a poor pass, easily stolen away by Sabali. But it's stolen back by Jones. That's what she brings to the floor. Thomas, Oblak, wing, jumper no good. Rebound by Sabali. Just a one-handed rebound as she palms that one away. Sabali's 5th rebound of the game alongside 6 assists and 12 points. Messerman goes up strong and gets the 2 to go. Timeout's going to be called. Fenerbahce's lead is out to 5. 2:28 left on the game clock. Coach Heshkova just needs to draw a line under this. Try and hit a reset and regain some traction in this game. When the coaches earn their money, that is for sure. Right now, both those coaches working hard in their huddles. For Coach Heshkova, it's how can Praha make a change? How can they change things up here in the final 2 minutes and 28 to please this home crowd who have been with them throughout the game? Crowd are enjoying themselves. Enjoy themselves an awful lot more. The team can pick up a huge win here on the home floor tonight. Fenerbahce, Coach Malkovic just about trying to push things forward. This is a big test, one of the biggest tests of this full roster that Fenerbahce nearly have right now. Can they overcome it? It will give them a huge amount of confidence moving to a 10-game win streak if they win here tonight. And they would secure a spot in the postseason playoffs if they win here tonight. 2 minutes 25 left on the game clock. Fenerbahce lead by 5 over Praha, and that's thrown away. Good defense by Kayla McBride, giving no space for Vukasavljevic to put the pass across. Skipped pass to the corner. Sabali, guided by Thomas. To Messerman against Jones. Jones on 4 fouls, remember. Needs to go careful. Good defense, puts enough pressure on Messerman to come up short. Fagbenle, long 2 from the corner. It's the right shot to take. It's wide open and she's hit some mid-range jumpers. It was early in the shot clock. Fenerbahce's lead still at 5. Jagopova for 3. That's off. Rebound, fight, eventually falls to Oblak. Praha will go again. Our team starting to look a little tired. Savljevic, baseline to Thomas Fagbenley. Free throw line jumper. This is 2 in a row now. Temi Fagbenley. Where's the call? Foul on the floor for Messerman. Not in foul trouble, Fenerbahce though. Messerman's furious with that call. Just be a baseline ball though for Praha with a fresh 14 for them to work with. Inbound ball to Oblak. Six on the shot clock. Oblak looking for the pass inside to Jones. She just about holds on to it and gets the score. Brianna Jones, 16 points now. 1 rebound away from a double-double. But most importantly for Praha, that brings them to within 3. 45 seconds left on the game clock. Surely if Fenerbahce score now, that should be enough, right? Oh, who knows? Jagopova! Oh, the phenomenal offense from Alina Jagopova uses the Messerman screen. Praha's defense doesn't rotate. Fenerbahce's lead back out to 5. And it feels like the air has been sucked out of the arena on that play. On the verge of securing a playoff place if they can hold on for the win here today. Praha, if they can't turn this one over, would move to an 8-4 record and really open themselves up to the chasing pack of Borj, Valencia and Polkovica. Look to advance the ball. Reduce their shot clock to 14 with that advance, but that's not a problem because Praha will want to take an earlier shot anyway. Don't want to be hanging around. 33.6 seconds left. Savljevic puts up a bit of a prayer, to be honest. I'm not sure they were in that desperate situation. Jagopova to Messerman. They'll come back out though, they'll run some clock. Jagopova. Feeds it inside. Sabali is fouled by Fagbenley. That will send Sabali to the line, and surely she can ice the game right now. If she hits both, that will move it out to a 3-possession game, a 7-point lead. It's the first of her 2. This is the one that's going to count. And she takes it to a 7-point game. Surely that is too far now. Fenerbahce have managed to batten down the hatches, survive the storm that is Praha. Foul's going to be called on McBride there. Fenerbahce not in the penalty though, so that one's on the floor. Sideline possession for Praha. Fenerbahce have survived the storm. It looks like they're going to come away with their 10th win in a row. Lost their opening 2 games of the regular season. They've won their last 10. Fagbenley puts it up, but that will be the end of the game. And what a game we have had here. A real test of the high-flying Fenerbahce. but Praha fall just short at the final hurdle. Not quite enough left in the tank for them to come away with the win. Final score here in Prague is Praha 66, Fenerbahce 73. What a game. Builders game of the week, potentially Builders game of the regular season, and it has not disappointed. These two have gone toe to toe for the full 40 minutes. No team had a double-digit lead. The biggest lead was 6 points for Praha and 7 points at the end here for Fenerbahce. 5 lead changes across the game, and big players really turned up for both teams tonight. Vuka Savljevic for Praha ended up with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals and a block. 2 other players in double digits. Brianna Jones had 16 points, 9 rebounds. Fagbenle had 12 points alongside 4 rebounds and a block. But for Fenerbahce, their 5 on the floor at the end were the main 5 to go to. All of them in double digits as we look at some of the highlight plays of that second half. Leading the scorers for Fenerbahce was Brianna Stewart, though. She had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Sabali, 14 points, 6 boards, 6 assists and 3 steals. McBride, 13 points, 3 from 7 from downtown, alongside 6 rebounds and 3 steals. Messerman had 12 points and 4 assists, and Yagapova had 10 points and 4 rebounds. A big performance for Fenerbahce, and the reward for that big performance, they are guaranteed a playoff place in this year's EuroLeague Women. What a prize for a hard-fought game here in Prague. Fenerbahce will stay top of the table. They'll have that asterisk that all players crave after their name to denote that they have secured qualification to the playoffs. They move to a 10-2 record. That is 10 wins on the bounce now for Fenerbahce. They lost their opening 2 games of the regular season and haven't lost a game since. As for Praha, well, this really does open things up here in Group A. Praha will now drop down to an 8-4 record. Alongside them will be Bourges 7-5, Polkovica 7-4, Valencia 7-4. It's those 4 teams battling it out for the final 3 spots here in Group A. Fenerbahce now will look forward to next week, where they take on Valencia on their home floor. Praha will be on their travels next week, where they take on Olympiacos. Both of those games take place on Wednesday, the 22nd of February. In fact, not next week. It's in a 2-3 weeks time, because next week we have the Eurobasket Women qualifiers. Make sure you tune in for all of those games. But the final score here in Prague, in what has been a hell of a game, is Praha 66, Fenerbahce 73.